and welcome along to Post Game Live. This is a show that gives you guys a chance to tell us what you made of the games over the weekend. In particular, the game that we just both watched, and you can see a big smile on his face, because Tottenham came from 2-1 down to snatch a last-second equaliser at Stamford Bridge against Chelsea. And Sophie's ran off, so I can't ask her about it, right? But to ask you, you know, how good was that?
Honestly, poetic, I got to say. And the only reason why I'm so happy about this, the fact that it's a last-minute goal. And in all honesty, we didn't deserve that. Chelsea outplayed us and dominated us for pretty much 85 minutes, you could say. Apart from the first 5 minutes where we kind of looked threatening, outside of that, it was Chelsea's game to win. I think the Gallagher chance, the Sterling chance, the Havertz chance. I feel like by that point, when we get those two corners, they should have been well out of sight. But you were saying this at halftime when it was 1-0. The game, there's only one goal in it. If something happens, this can easily turn. And one thing I've always seen under Conte since he's come in last December, this team keeps fighting till the last breath. We saw that last year against Liverpool, Wolves, Southampton, and again now against Chelsea in a big game where previously I was saying we hadn't had any luck at Stamford Bridge. Today we made our own luck. And listen, people can say it was undeserved or whatever, but if you keep fighting to that last minute, you get rewarded. And today we got our reward.
Yeah, listen, football's a game. It's 90 minutes or 90 minutes plus the time.
Absolutely.
Let me get to the controversial moment, though. Leading up to that goal, it seemed like when, you know... Sorry?
Let's get to it.
I
know
it seemed... Now, let me ask you, did you feel that that was a foul on Cucurella? It looked to me like Romero was pulling his hair off the guy's head, right? They went back, they looked at it, and they didn't give anything for it.
I mean, look, it was a foul. I'm not going to deny it. It was a foul.
Yeah, so if it's a foul, why is it not given the other... Because if it's a foul the other... If that would have happened the other way, right, wouldn't that have been given as a penalty?
Absolutely. I think...
So if this happened the other way, surely it should be given possibly a red card for Romero because he was already on a yellow.
The funny thing is, Robbie, they had even VAR look at it. So forget that the live referees missed it. Forget that the Lionels missed it. They've then had the chance to re-look at it, and they still said no. At that point, I'm sorry, you have the safety net of VAR. If you don't give the foul and the red card then, or you don't at least tell the referee, hey, go check that one on the screen. It might be worth looking at. Then that's a fuck up on their end. That's not our problem.
No, listen.
We got to do our thing.
No, listen. I'm not in no way am I saying for you personally.
Yeah.
Right. For you personally, right. If it was the other way around and it was me,
100%.
And that was Arsenal, I'd be
100%.
happy as Larry as well. But you know that seemed like a very poor decision, right? And it's not on the referee. Whoever's doing VAR is supposed to point out to the referee that, come on, that's a foul. It shouldn't be another corner. It should be a foul the other way.
Facts. And the thing is, listen, this is where last season there were so many issues with VAR, and I'm not even denying it. When a man grabs a head full of hair, I remember, didn't Fellaini go through some situation like that? Like, I remember him getting sent off for that when they were looking back at that, and it's like, I don't know. I don't know why they didn't give it, but I'm grateful for it.
I mean, at the very least, even if he wasn't sent off, for me, it looked like they should have given a free kick the other way, and there shouldn't have been another corner. And that corner is ultimately, and we saw what happened at the end. I mean, let me ask you about that. You know what I mean? As your managers involved in that, I mean, it absolutely kicked off. Both managers were already on a yellow card from a previous argument.
Yeah.
We saw Tuchel, the way he celebrated when Chelsea went 2-1 up. And then at the end of the game, it appeared to me like Tuchel kind of grabbed on deliberately longer to the hand of Conte, and it kicked off again.
What are you doing? I'm sorry, that's childish. Like, the game is over. Conte's actually been... Because, you know, some managers, Klopp, Simeone, they'll run down the tunnel. They don't even want to shake hands after they've been into that back and forth with you. Conte is at least classy and grown enough to say...
He's just got to go back, that's why.
Yeah, let's shake hands.
Not sure if he would have done that if it's 2-1.
Listen, Tuchel all game was trying to rile up Conte. I get it. It's your home ground. You want to make it look like it's your home. You can't talk to me this way. Then when you do the tasteless, in my opinion, run down the touchline as if you're Jose Mourinho against United in 2004, you're not that guy, my guy. Sorry. What was that? The game still had like 15 minutes left to play. You're far too excited. So when Conte is classy enough to now come over and shake hands, despite you being the classless one, I'm sorry, you got to hold that. You got to hold that. That's corny from Tuchel.
They both got sent off in the end. Lots of comments coming in from you guys. Keep them coming in. Herman Hazard says Tuchel owns Conte. Mabusi says Spurs had Anthony Taylor in their back pocket. I know Anthony Taylor's not the most popular referee down there. I remember when he refereed the final that we played against them. They don't like him too much down there at the bridge. Ali Raze says Tuchel's a bit of a psycho. Zappa says, I love Richarlison already. He kind of came on and changed things, didn't he? Because he just kind of put himself about a bit, didn't he? And I know you're not a big fan of his.
He gave some good energy still. He gave some good energy. I can't lie. No, that's what he needs to do, though. I don't think he's going to really displace that front three. But when he has those moments where he comes on in games, be a difference maker. Even if you're not going to get the goals and assists, make yourself a handful. Get in useful positions. Press the guys. And that's exactly what he did today. And listen, I've said, I'm not expecting a huge amount from Richarlison. And my issue isn't, I hate Richarlison and I have an agenda against Richarlison and I want him to fail. I just merely think we've overpaid for a bench player. But if he's going to come in and contribute like that, and
it's a big contribution today.
That, for me, is exactly what we need. So if I can see more of that when he's coming off the bench, prove me wrong all you like, my brother. I will support you.
Carrington says Conte didn't look Tuchel in the eyes when they shook. That's why Tuchel was angry.
What? What does he want? Eye contact and some romance reminiscing for 3 seconds or something. The game's over, mate. Shake hands and move on. Like, why are you trying to grip the hands for an extra 3 seconds? I don't get it. It's an ego trip. I'm sorry. Tuchel is mad that he drew that game when he should have been long and out of sight. And rather than be frustrated with his team because they dominated the game, he's like, do you know what? Where can I take my frustration out on? Conte. He's not who you've got the issue with, mate. When your centre-backs are sleeping near post, when Reece James is flicking out on back post, what's going on? When your guys ain't finishing their chances, what's going on?
Godswill Godwin Peter Joseph Parker says, WTF do you mean? Fuad, Conte started it. You got saved. You got outclassed. You had no answers until the ref saved you. Robbie, you know this is true.
I haven't denied any of that. I haven't. I've said that.
It was a very, I don't know, the Tottenham performance, in particular in the first half, they were very poor. I mean, I was kind of surprised when we thought that, you know, when you think of the attacking players, I mean, Son was anonymous. Harry Kane was anonymous until he scored that goal. I mean, Kulusevski, very quiet. I mean, that sort of famed attack was kept very, very quiet in the game, but one of them's come up at the end with a big goal.
And the thing is, it's with that front three, it's if you can keep them quiet, you can pretty much shut down the entire Spurs team. Because the wing-backs, as we said, aren't as effective. The midfield, it's only two men in there. I felt like the two Chelsea boys actually bossed them today, Jorginho and Kante. They were brilliant. And Bentancur and Højbjerg looked kind of off the pace. Defensively, I've said we've had our gaps, but we couldn't get that first half, couldn't get a hold of the ball. We couldn't string 4 passes together. The wing-backs were ineffective. The front line, as you said, couldn't keep the ball. Son had 2 chances played into him. Both of them were bouncing off him, and it's kind of like we don't seem like we're at the races. And it's weird because the first 5 minutes, you thought, Spurs look up for it. They've really turned up today. And then it just seemed like as soon as Chelsea got a bit of control, they just didn't let go. And listen, that's credit to Chelsea. The way they were passing out of the back, the way they were passing through our midfield, the way they were able to get into that final third, I just felt like Chelsea couldn't create that final clear-cut chance. But that first half, I said they schooled us. They took us to school, literally. But the second half, that's where you kind of have to see the game out. And I felt like Chelsea let the game hang in the balance. And you do that any time. It's like they say with boxing. Never leave it in the judge's hand. This is what you did today. Yeah,
I have to say a lot of people in the chat really, you know, not happy with the referee. This guy here, Kalakia, says Romero was the man of the match. Both goals were dodgy, says Sal. Mike, Dead, and Anthony Taylor, says Azza, who's a Chelsea fan, I can see by his picture there. Chelsea were robbed, says Chabudi, and he says, I'm not a Chelsea fan. Right? The handshake fight is the latest sports game, says Red Gold Green.
It's true.
The poll should be, have we got a poll going? Should it have been a red card? Let's get a poll going on that. Should it have been a red card, and should that have been then given as a free kick instead of it going to be, another? And people are saying it. I mean, this guy here, Lunwan, saying that the refs spoiled the game. But that's not the refs, it's the VAR. The ref's probably not seen that, isn't he? So
that's where VAR has to protect the referee, in my opinion. You get that second, third eye look, and you haven't taken advantage of that. And in my opinion, listen, the referee's got it wrong today. You can be mad at Spurs all you like, but for me, listen, if the referee's gifted that to us, you can say that. But at the end of the day, the scores don't lie. 2-2.
QT22 divide by 7 says, don't know how Romero did not get a red card. It's clear the referee's smoking something elite. Anyways, a draw is a win for us, and he's an Arsenal fan. But it did look. Jonathan Fisher says, Mike Dean on the VAR is a disgrace. I don't know if it was actually him on VAR today, but he's in charge of the VARs now, and he is part of the VAR. Deepak Singh says, Timo Sterling.
I was going to ask you about him.
He did miss a few chances, Sterling. He had that big chance in the box area. He just blazed it over the bar. I mean, that was a poor finish.
I thought he had a couple of nice touches in the first half as well, but I think what we're seeing is a realization that Sterling is no longer in Pep's system. He is now going to have to be that almost player that he is for England, where he's scoring high effort goals, where he's having to create his own chances. I can't remember that many times where Chelsea got him into clear-cut scoring positions. And at City, he was regularly getting those. That back post tapping was almost trademark.
Yeah.
But at Chelsea, he's going to have to adapt his game, and I think Chelsea are going to have to find a way to best utilize him, because at times you saw him on the right wing, on the left, picking up spaces in the middle. Is he getting that free roll at Chelsea now? Is that going to get the best out of him? I don't know. But
definitely,
for me,
I think what I saw today, they definitely need a striker. I can see the Aubameyang thing happening very soon now.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Because they lack a striker. They should have been out of sight.
Yeah.
Josh Smith says, love the spat between Tuchel and Conte. So did I.
Same.
So did I. I know people are going to say, disgraceful, this and that. I loved it. It's a London derby, man. You want a bit of spice.
We ain't had them managerial rivalries for a couple of years in the Premier League. Klopp and Pep have been doing this loving of, no, I respect him. Yeah, I love him. Yeah. Nah, this is what we like. Old school rivalry. Managers going head to head. Nasty handshakes, nasty tackle. That was a proper London game. And even though, listen, we got bossed or whatever, it was still an entertaining game.
It's a very entertaining game. Akiz says, why is the Spurs fan so happy? They were shockingly bad. They got dominated for 90 minutes. If it was Arsenal in that game against Chelsea, I would have been livid despite the draw. Great outcome, though, he says, for Spurs.
Whoa. Is that the same Arsenal fans that were celebrating, we beat Man City in the first half last year? I ain't forgot that, lads. I ain't forgot that. We beat Man City. No, we actually beat Man City twice.
No, we actually got, I remember when we went to Stamford Bridge and we got a draw. And we got slated for celebrating as well. But we were down to 10 men.
Yeah.
That was the game when Martinelli was down to 10
the handball
men.
on the line. Yeah, I remember that.
But the Basuma was going a bit over the top at the end.
I can't lie. I said that even before we were filming.
I said fully expecting him to take a trophy out and put it there. I mean,
Nah, listen. Basuma's new round here. These kind of derbies are new to him. He's just enjoying being out there. Love it, man.
Half Splendid says, Robbie, call it how it is. Pure corruption.
Come on, lads.
Right? Pure corruption. Millie Ahmed says, the referees need to be looked at. Shameless from Spurs says Denzel Robert. Well, what's shameless about it? I mean, they've got away with it, you know. Azza says a tin pot club celebrating draws. They're not happy with you, Fuad. There's quite a few Chelsea fans in this chat.
Hey, they're fuming. Why are you not mad at me for?
I also want to hear from you guys as well. Listen, there was a game earlier on today. If you guys saw that, that was Nottingham Forest getting off the mark in the Premier League. They beat West Ham by a goal to nil. West Ham missing a penalty in that game. Declan Rice with a pretty awful penalty. Any West Ham fans out there want to hear from you. Nottingham Forest fans out there, tell us about that game. Also want to hear from any Arsenal fans who was at the game yesterday. I was at the game. Gabriel Jesus, what a performance. This guy's going to be, he's going to be some force this season. And Manchester United fans, come on. We got to hear from you guys. What's happening down at Manchester United. And these rumours about Ronaldo today. Did you see that?
Wants out, wants to terminate his contract. And do you know what? with the way that performance was yesterday, I felt like some form of blowback was going to happen, whether it was Ten Hag stripping Maguire, De Gea getting dropped for a reserve keep, something. And it turns out it's Ronaldo, which might be best for all parties at this point, in all honesty. I'm starting to think that as much as I thought at the start of the window, Ronaldo should probably just stick it out, I can see this getting really, really ugly if United don't sort this mess out. Over
Ten Hag apparently cancelled Man United's day off.
Yeah.
Today had them all in. And
Rightly
there's
so.
been a lot of talk about discipline problems with Ronaldo. If he goes, though, we were talking about it on the stream, where does he go? If he leaves the club, who's going to have him?
Only one club, Sporting Lisbon.
He's not going to go to Sporting
That's
Lisbon.
the only club that will take him, Robbie. I'm serious. He's got unfinished business there. If you're saying he's going to be humble enough to take a pay cut at one of these other big clubs because United will terminate his contract, he better be humble enough to go back home.
Ronaldo is
I'm
not going to be playing football
They're in the Champions League. They can go and reclaim their title that they lost last year, and Ronaldo has unfinished business there. 3 good reasons. And you're back home in Portugal where you'll be treated like royalty. Because where else is he going to go? Bayern? PSG? He's not getting another move in the Premier League. Madrid ain't sniffing at that. Florentino Perez was laughing last week that he's 38. So where can you really see him? Atletico's laughed it off as well. He tried maybe flirt with the rivals. They don't want to hear it. So no major teams in Europe, unless Ronaldo's going to take that step down to Europa League, or as you were saying, maybe a move like Napoli.
Could it be Chelsea?
I think Chelsea earlier in the window laughed at it, didn't they?
Couple of them chances today, if he would have been on the end of them, he would have scored
I
them.
think they'll look at Oba ahead of Ronaldo.
Andrew Thomas said, Andrew Thomas, welcome along. He's just become a member. Don't forget, you can become members here on DR Sports, right? Gives you things like early videos. Also, you get your own avatar, so we're able to see who you are when you come on. QT22 divide by 7 says, don't know how Ramiro did not get a red card. It's a clear. Right, you know what I mean? So he's still upset about that. Spurs played with 12 men, says Arab King 93.
See the way Havertz was getting punched up last 5 minutes as well. They had to sub him off, protect the boy. Listen, don't come round here playing with the big dogs. You get bullied. Like
says the ref and the VAR official, Spurs 12th and 13th man. You're not getting a lot of love here.
Listen, they're fuming, man. They're fuming. I don't blame them. If I was in their situation, I'd be fuming too. So I get it. But don't be mad at me, boys.
FLY says, watch Ronaldo go to Newcastle.
Ooh. Nah. I know Newcastle need that star name, but they've been very conservative. And nothing says to me that they're just going to go now on a doolally and just go and say, hey, you know what, why don't we get Ronaldo? Does he really want to be a Geordie? Hawaii, man, from Ronaldo? Nah, I can't see it. Sweet to Hawaii? Nah.
I think Ronaldo wants Champions League. Yeah. A team's got to be, and that's why I'm trying to figure what team would have him.
Sporting. It makes perfect sense.
Sporting, man.
I know it seems unattractive. I know it seems too little, like Ronaldo's above it, but he's not. This is the situation you're at now. 38, big man.
What did you make of him yesterday?
Awful.
You watched the game?
Yeah, awful, honestly. I mean, United have been bad over the last couple of years, but I don't think I've seen a single performance where I've seen him self-inflicted self-destruction like that. In 35 minutes, De Gea for some of the goals. Harry Maguire, Luke Shaw getting burnt, Eriksen getting caught on the ball in positions where he shouldn't be. It was a mess all round. Like Lisandro looking like a 5'1" midget. It's a mess all over the back. And the thing is, it's not much better going forward. You've got Sancho, who is still looking like a grime rapper. Like, you've got Rashford, who Meek Mills, they're calling him. I mean, it's a mess. Ronaldo, you could see the frop he was throwing yesterday.
Listen, we have to watch this video, right? This is a video of KG, who was on the Best of Enemies shows, talking about Man United. Check this out. You see United last week, man. 10 Hag, or should I say 9 Hag?
Yeah, no. Minus 10 Hag.
Everybody's bigging him up, man. I think it's a flop.
10 Hag. Nah, big man ting, fam. 10 Heisenberg. You know them way there, fam. Dutch match Branning. He's out of here.
Well, what did you call you last week? 10 Hog.
Yeah, 10. boy, Eric Bum Hog. That's what we're hearing now. You know what I'm saying?
Rannick Part 2.
This guy. No, you're taking the piss, blood. Dutch Stone Cold Steve Austin. Sean Dutch. That's his name.
This club has a great history, and now an era can come to an end.
Yeah, you see United lot. We're back with you. Oh boy, poor KG. Well, no, actually not poor KG because he's running up his mouth. I'm glad he got it, man. Let's also get into some more of your comments here. I was trying to find this one. Yeah, here it is. Ajmal said, Nottingham Forest have announced the arrival of former Crystal Palace midfielder Cheikh Kouyaté on a 2-year contract. Steve Cooper's relentless summer transfer market, and it was they've made about 13, 14 signings. It's been crazy.
They've pretty much signed a whole new team.
Yeah, but off the mark today, Nottingham Forest, with a win. I was saying that these sort of teams like Nottingham Forest, you don't want to be catching them this early in the season. There was a raucous atmosphere there at the City Ground, and back with a bang.
Listen, they needed that, to be fair. I think a lot of these teams that are promoted, their home form is going to be very crucial to them this year. And I think early doors, you need to get a start like that. A team like West Ham as well, not the easiest. I think caught them on a good day.
Yeah,
but
RS is saying they're going for Awar as well. Awesome Awar.
Yeah, that's one I heard earlier today, and I was like, hold on, he went from moving to Arsenal last summer to freshly promoted Nottingham Forest. I said his stock has fallen crazy, but again, it shows you the allure of the Premier League. But listen, they're signing a bunch of talented players, I think, and my worry for Nottingham Forest is, are they doing too much too soon? I know they had a lot of players that were outgoing as they were coming up anyway, so they needed to make the signings. But that is a lot of players coming in, man.
As well,
Mopé, they're looking to. So it could be 13, 14 players. Like, you're genuinely talking about a starting 11 and all your subs.
Yeah. CISVP says Tuchel needs to start Brozier. Brozier needs to get a chance. He might be better than Kai. I mean, they really did lack a striker there. And Aubameyang, they're definitely going to move for him now after that game today.
I think they will. It seems like a quick, cheap alternative. But I do think Broha, maybe give him the chance. But then again, he didn't really put the numbers up at Southampton last season. So maybe is it Tuchel where he's kind of thinking, is he ready yet?
Y2B says the first 3 Brentford goals were lucky due to our errors, but the 4th goal was a really good goal that they scored. 4th goal was brilliant. That pass, first of all, the pass out from the back, and then the Ivan Toney first time pass, and then a great finish in Boomer. But for me, you say the first 3 goals are errors, and yes, it's an error by the first one, a horrible error by De Gea. But I just look at the all-round picture of those goals. So the first goal, again, the pressing of Brentford, brilliant. Ronaldo gets the ball nicked off him, falls over trying to nick a foul, doesn't think they go on and score that. The second goal, brilliant pressing again. Why De Gea's passing it right into the middle of the goal mouth there.
3 yards away from each other.
Yeah, but the pressing, brilliant. Again, they were rewarded for their hard work, Brentford.
No, 100%. I feel like Brentford deserved it. And listen, United fans can make the excuse of, it was errors or whatever. But these are errors you've been making for a very long time now. The same players as well. David De Gea, Harry Maguire, Luke Shaw. How many times have you heard those guys costing United points over the last year or two? So it's the same old broken record, in my opinion. And unless Ten Hag makes serious changes over the next week or two, it's going to be a rough season for United, man.
Very rough. Was it a foul on Cucurella we did in the poll? 78% said yes. Nearly 3,500 of you voted. 78%.
I agree.
Which way would you vote?
I would vote yes. I would vote yes. When you grab a man's head of hair and you yank it down like that, listen, that's a UFC move right there.
Mabusi says, respect to Tuchel and Conte, it was Anthony Taylor who ruined the game. I don't think it was Anthony Taylor because he ain't seen it properly.
VAR.
This is where the VAR has to help the referee out. Oka says, I feel the referees cheated Chelsea in that feisty game. The Brentford manager, this is Enzabutio, he says that the Brentford manager said they were targeting Martinez and second balls. That's worrying, isn't it? You brought in a new player. I mean, this whole thing on Lisandro Martinez, I'm having a big argument with some of my Man United mates because obviously Arsenal were trying to get him. Man United ended up forking out the money for him. Now, at the time, I was saying to my United mates, I go, no, Arsenal, what position are you buying him to play? Because you've just bought a left-back and you've got Luke Shaw, who you're keeping. Surely you're not buying him to... Because I got Arsenal buying him as a left-back. Yeah. A left-back that can cover...
At centre-back.
At centre-back if needed.
Yeah.
But he was being bought in as a left-back. 100% at Arsenal, right? And I said he's too small to be a centre-back in the Premier League week in, week out. He'll get targeted.
He will get targeted. The thing is I watched him a lot at Ajax. I think he's a quality player.
He's quality, he is.
He will come good. But yeah, you're right. In the Premier League, it is a very physical.
You're going to get targeted. You're going to have teams that say, right,
Ivan Toney, Chris
5'9" guy in there. Even when you don't have, I look on it and right, people look on it and say, Chris Wood, like you said, Ivan Toney, all these big players, right? Mitrovic. But not only that, even with teams that don't have those aerial presence, right? They still can target you when it comes to set pieces. Yeah. You know, so they can still send up, Arsenal, Gabriel Jesus
the funny
may
thing
not
is,
be
though,
6 foot odd, but, they can send up Saliba who's over, he's 6'4", 6'5". They can send up Xhaka, they can send up all these big guys, Gabriel and all that, and target you.
Yeah. But you know what the funny thing is? I don't know why United wouldn't maybe try and push him into even defensive midfield. Because I've seen
that,
even the left-back role, I think he was sparingly used there by Ajax.
He was sparingly used in that position as defensive mid.
In defensive mid as well. He was used there, I would say, even a little bit more than that left-back. So for me, I'm looking at United's team and I'm like, they play McTominay and Fred to do one man's job. Why don't you just slot Lisandro in there? Lisandro, Eriksen, Bruno.
Though,
and then
my argument is this, though. You're spending 50 odd million pounds on a player
they're trying to...
that does not have the expertise in that position. Yeah, he can slot in. But why not go and get a guy that's,
so what's
like
the
an expert?
The alternative is go and get De Jong, who they're tricking themselves into being a DM. I'm telling you now, Frankie De Jong is not a DM. If you think that's what he is,
he's more creative player, isn't he?
You have never watched him. He's a deep line playmaker.
Yeah, deep line,
he loves to pick the ball up and run with it. That is not someone who's sitting in front of your back four. So for me, if they're going and waiting all summer, going through the saga, to go and misprofile a player just to play him in the wrong position, you've got Lisandro there, who is clearly too short, if people are saying to play centre-back, but he's got the ball-playing ability, he's got the tenacity, and he can clearly mop up.
But what I'm saying is, you don't spend £57 million to buy a player that, he could fit in there. You buy, if you're spending that amount of money, you want the player for that position.
Yeah.
So he's just played a whole season at Ajax. He got Player of the Year at Ajax, by the way. Playing as a centre-back.
I think he'll come good. Even in the Ben Mee goal, he was kind of falling. Outside of that goal, I'll be honest with you, I don't think Lisandro's done too much wrong in those two games. People can say that, I don't know. Ben Mee was falling himself. I think they were both falling, and Ben Mee just got to it better because he's just taller.
You're 5'9".
I get it.
And you're up against, what's he? He's got other Mitrovic and all these. I don't know, man. London, I want to hear from you guys anyway. What do you think? London Nomad says this standard of refereeing in the Premier League is going to be detrimental for so many teams. They really need to mic them up so that the fans can hear what's going on. I'm a fan of that. I'm a fan of the VAR being mic'd up. Maybe not in the. I'm not sure if it's a good idea hearing it in the stadium.
No.
But I feel that if you're watching it at home and you could hear that conversation between the VAR, I'd love the VAR. I'd love to hear that conversation today on the Cucurella goal. On the Cucurella hair pulling incident. Why have you not given that as a foul?
For me,
I'd love to hear that conversation.
What I think they should do is maybe once they've made a decision, explain the decision. I don't know if you watch NFL, but on NFL they do that. So a lot of times the referees will have a video decision or whatever. Once they've come to that decision, the camera will be put on them. They are now put on a loudspeaker to the stadium can hear it, and you at home can hear it. And you'll hear, the reason why I'm giving this foul is because number A pushed number C, and then boom, 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 this is the reason. For me, I think if they did the same thing in football, it could work perfectly. It's proven to work in other sports, both rugby and NFL. I don't see why we can't translate it. We're
snobbish to change in football. I don't know why.
Do you know what it is? Football likes to do its own thing. Because it's the biggest sport, because they kind of the leaders and everything. And they're just like, nah.
Denzel Robert agreeing with you. He said that's the other thing. He's agreeing with you. He's saying that Frankie De Jong is not a defensive midfielder.
He's not. Trust me. You know ball.
Yeah.
If people are thinking he's going to be the number 6, Ain't nothing going to change at United.
And they
I'm
need
telling
that
you.
player so badly. Why are they not looking for that player? But
No
they think
clue.
De Jong's that guy.
They think De Jong's that guy, and I'm like, you lot are misprofiling him so badly.
I'll tell you, I don't know
It's
what's going
funny.
on.
It's a funny place at United, man. They're almost in a situation where you guys were when you finished 8th that first year, where they don't realize it's going to hit them this hard, but it's going to rock their season this year. Like, I don't have United finishing in the top 6 or 7.
Not from what I've seen at the moment. Although, listen, Arsenal last season lost the first 3 games. Will challenge you for the
They
top
still
4.
got 2 weeks of the window.
Yeah,
they still
so,
got 2 weeks of the
you
window. They
can't
still
write
got
them off.
January. They got a lot of time
They
to turn
can't
it
get
around.
worse than this. Come on, seriously. Although they have got Liverpool next. Jesus.
Listen, it could be
Of
like
all the
Arsenal last
teams-
year. Trust me.
Of all the teams, right?
Hey,
Right,
they beat them pre-season. What? They did.
They beat Liverpool's Z team. I wouldn't even say their B team, like their Z team.
Oh, they'll kill me.
You've seen Liverpool, right, in the other day in that Community Shield.
Yeah.
You don't want to be coming up against teams like. I mean, oh my God. Jeff Neeson says they're not bringing him in to be a DM. Stop talking rubbish. He's being brought in to create chances.
Is he?
So who's going to be the DM then? Because they desperately need somebody.
So
like
they're telling me that they're
Is that
going to play
gonna be McTominay?
McTominay and Fred, and then what? De Jong in front of them, or what is it going to be? McTominay, De Jong, and Bruno. Is that really a midfield you want to see? Like, this is my thing. Is De Jong a necessity for United? For them to have a whole saga over the summer. They've signed Eriksen, who they're trying to basically fit around and play anyway. Yesterday he was playing in the pivot, and I was like, I've never
Last
seen
week he
Eriksen
was
play
playing
this.
as a
Last
striker.
week it was false 9. So it's like, I feel like United are misprofiling a lot of the guys they're getting. So listen, best of luck to you lot.
Yeah,
if you
Y2B
lot
says
beat the DM.
our B team beat Liverpool's A team in the second half. Well, you're going to have them both halves next week, right?
Talk your shit.
Oh, my God. Philip Bidwell says, yeah, I would be behind having the referees explaining to the stadium and the viewers watching it on TV.
Facts.
I think we're starting to get to that stage because I don't understand some of these decisions that we're seeing.
Because even that one there, the Romero, if he says, okay, I didn't see the foul, boom, 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 you could at least get a clear explanation as to why he hasn't given the foul, why he hasn't given the red. But the fact that now we're left in that grey space leaves it down to explanation for everyone's own interpretation, isn't it?
Let's talk a bit Arsenal.
Do we have to?
But Arsenal getting a very impressive 4-2 win yesterday against Leicester City. And Gabriel Jesus, I was at the game. Very impressive. Should have had a hat-trick really. Could have had 4 or 5 goals.
Bro.
He looked, for me, £45 million for him. It looks an absolute steal.
Damn penny he's worth. I'm telling you. And I'll be honest with you, I was very impressed with that first half performance. And I said start of the season, I look at Arsenal and I'm like, of the teams competing for top 4 between Chelsea, Spurs and Arsenal, I think for me, they're the ones that I have as like, they're most likely going to lock top 4. Because I look at, you lot only missed out on top 4 because you threw it away yourselves last year. Then you add in Saliba, centre-back improvements. Fabio Vieira, quality in midfield. Gabriel Jesus, as you said, finally a 9 who can put the goals away for those chances you were creating last year. Zinchenko gives you versatility and depth at left back and in midfield. So I'm like, they've significantly improved it. A starting 11 that I thought was fairly decent as well. Now I'm like, you lot are actually going to be a problem this year, in my opinion. I think, I look at Jesus as well, that performance yesterday, that first goal, quality.
Yeah, no,
So
he was brilliant.
When he controlled that ball down and put Johnny Evans in a blender,
Yeah.
I said, yeah, man, this guy is.
I have to
gonna be
admit,
so
right,
quick.
I've always, listen, we've seen him over the years at Man City, and I've always thought, good player. When we were signing him, I was like, yep, happy with the signing. Then when I went on the pre-season and I'm watching him up close and personal, I'm like, hey, this guy's better than I thought he was.
Do you know what it is, Robbie?
I'm like, he's so quick, he's so strong.
At City, I never ever felt like he got that pat on the back to say, you're the 9. It was always, listen, we like you, you're useful, and you can plug holes for us. If Aguero's out injured, if we need you on the right, if we need you on the left. And he was kind of happy with that because I think he didn't want that pressure of, you're the Aguero replacement. Because remember when he initially came in, Pep tried to do that.
Plus, you're in a winning team, you're winning everything.
And
you
you're
know?
winning everything as well. So it's like, I'll just play wherever I can. I feel like at Arsenal, they were missing that hole. He has, I felt like, at this point now, won enough to say, right, I want to now be a 9 and put my numbers up. I want to show I'm that guy. And I think at Arsenal, it's almost like, two hands that need each other. It's a perfect situation. And I genuinely said, I know people were saying that Richarlison's the number 9 for Brazil. I think come World Cup time, if he's still on the bench and Jesus is doing what he's doing, don't play yourself.
Yeah, no,
don't play yourself.
He was brilliant yesterday. Gimmicks says, we Arsenal fans need to chill a bit. Really happy with what we've been showing, but just don't want to get overboard. Listen, it's the first, I said this, right? It's the first couple games.
But think how you started
last year. Last year we started off horrifically, and it's always good to get off to a good start. Absolutely. You want to get off to, you want to go as many games as unbeaten as possible. Winning breeds winning.
Robbie, we got to give flowers to one other player as well on the Arsenal team. Jesus and all that is wonderful, but Granit Xhaka.
Yeah.
Dog.
But my thing with Granit Xhaka has always been...
I like this as well afterwards. I was like, he's mending the relationship with the fans. I was like, you know what?
I think that might be to his missus, though.
Was it?
They sit in a box above that. I'm not sure.
Robbie said he don't love us.
No. You know what? Funny enough, right? Two things.
Yeah.
He made a comment where he said that he thinks the All or Nothing documentary has
Definitely
helped bring people together, which is really funny because when that documentary was being announced, I can tell you universally Arsenal fans were not happy with it. And they're like, this is going to be embarrassing and this is going to be that and that. And it has. It's shown like players like him, Mikel Arteta's like coming out of this with flowers.
Bruv.
You know what I mean? So,
I'm not lying to you. I was expecting to watch this shit to laugh, joke, get my tweets off. I've gained nothing but respect.
Yeah, because you watch Arteta in particular, and you like this is a very apart from the speakers with the Liverpool stuff.
Yeah, that was funny. That was probably the worst moment in it. But I can't lie to you, I've gained a lot of respect for Arteta through this doc and Granit Xhaka as well. For both of them, how they present themselves. And there's a lot of stuff you don't see behind closed doors. Yeah. And I think that's the small little bits. Like, these players actually believe what Arteta's saying. Yeah. When Granit Xhaka, he's actually one of the leaders in the Arsenal. I always just thought it was, maybe he's just been there the longest.
I heard it from ages ago.
He's actually one of the guys.
You know the funny thing is, Fuad, right? I'll give you two things, right? First of all, once upon a time, I asked somebody at Arsenal, when Arteta was at Arsenal, I asked them, how comes I got Arteta captain? Yeah. I remember at that time, there was a few other players I thought better candidates, right? There was somebody at Arsenal, they said, nah, Robbie, listen, if you know this guy, he's like the standout for the captain because he's so professional. Yeah. He's like, remember he said he's never late, right? And he goes like, he's a guy that will be, he goes, it's like having a manager in the dressing room. So straight away, he was captain material from then. And I've heard the same thing about Granit Xhaka as well. That, like, he's always the one encouraging, leading.
Switzerland
it's
captain.
Just the madness he does on the pitch sometimes, you think to yourself, it can't be. Yeah. But the other thing, as I was going to say a little bit earlier, is that I've always wondered since Granit Xhaka's been at Arsenal, what is this guy's position? He's not a DM.
Do you think now this is his best role?
I feel this is his best role. He's playing like a sort of box-to-box midfielder. And I think he's playing really well in that position.
Do you know what I think has happened now? Now I feel like Arsenal have finally told Partey, look, we appreciate it when you burst forward and get involved in the link-up play, but we need you getting back to doing what we signed you for from Atletico, where you was the sitter. Yeah. And I feel like when he came in, he was the big money signing. You lot probably wanted to see the most of him, and he got given that license. But I always felt like if Partey sat, you get the most out of him. And Xhaka, I've always felt he's not a natural sitter. He needs that little bit of license. And you saw yesterday, he hit the post and then he got the goal as well. Yeah. Both of them getting up in great positions. Yeah,
and he sort of plays, he doesn't play as a sitter when he plays for Switzerland either.
No, so,
he's it's what you were just saying about with like De Jong and that. You've got to play these guys in their right position sometimes. But it was very impressive by Arsenal yesterday. That was a very impressive win.
See, I'm in a good mood.
Man City
praising Arsenal and shit. Yo, this is mad.
Man City did what Man City did. I mean, they as well. They blew away Bournemouth. 4-0. They're going to take some stopping this year, aren't they?
I expected, to be fair. I expected Bournemouth. I think Scotty Parker's one of those managers I knew coming into the Premier League he would try and go toe-to-toe with Pep, and they just got shown the way. And I think the surprising thing yesterday was how quiet Haaland was. I know he got the assist and everything, but man, did that Bournemouth defence keep him quiet. But
he had one chance though, right? He had this Foden. All he had to do was cut it back.
You could see how much he was screaming. I said,
Haaland was screwing.
I guarantee you Foden doesn't do that again, though.
Haaland was screwing.
But it goes to show you, that now City's main method of attack, I feel like, is to go through Haaland. But if that doesn't work, City have been playing without a striker for the past 4 years. So for them, it is absolutely nothing to just, oh, you lot want to mark out Haaland? Cool. We'll just let the others ball out. And it's, you saw 4-0.
Do you think he's going to get a golden boot this year?
I said Harry Kane, in my opinion.
Harry Kane.
I said, and maybe
That was
it's
his first goal today, isn't it?
Yeah,
Not
his
tomorrow.
first goal today. Maybe it's a little bit biased in me, but I think for the last 2-3 years, he's seen other guys claim his trophy. Salah, I get it. I respect it. Son, listen, my friend, you are my number 2. You ain't meant to be getting golden boots. That's my thing. So I feel like Kane now needs to put that respect back on his name.
I said Salah.
Salah's a standard bearer.
Salah's going to be number one. He always scores goals.
He's a standard bearer.
He's always in and around that golden boot. He's either winning it or he nearly wins it. But number 2, now he's the main man. There's no more Mane. He doesn't have to cut the ball back sometimes. You know what I mean? He's the main guy there. I think he's going to score more goals.
I think Kane, Salah, Haaland. Those will be the 3. That's the ranking it will be, I reckon, as well. In that order.
Go Salah, Jesus, Jesus, Haaland.
Well, no Kane, huh? Say less. Jesus more goals than Kane. You heard it here first, yeah? Say no more.
Going back to the Tottenham game, Jack Burton says the referee let crunching tackles go for both sides when there were probably fouls. Good refereeing. He's consistent, but I get that. But this situation, I'm not blaming the ref for that situation. I'm saying VAR should have intervened. Chris Boltwood says Xhaka is better when he doesn't have the full defensive responsibility.
Facts.
Zinchenko covers that space, allowing Xhaka to be free.
That was one thing I was noticing yesterday.
He's
when
coming
Xhaka
inside
gets up, Zinchenko goes inside. When Zinchenko goes up, Xhaka slots in at left back, which is what he was doing for a few games last year. I said, yo, that's a nice little wrinkle there.
Patrick says Kane hasn't scored yet. The last goal was an own goal.
You what, mate? They can't do that. There is no way.
It did look like it might have bubbled off a head, you know.
Glance
you
off
could be
his
right.
head.
Because he sort of glanced
it.
at
It flicked off Reece James. It flicked off Reece James.
But if he's still heading to the goal, it's still a goal.
I think it might have been heading wide still. Let's see.
Did you get it then?
Reece James got man of the match. Oh, shit. No, you got it. Kane
got
goal. Perisic assist.
No, but that's you're looking at it at the time of the goal. Right, let me look at it.
Well, look. Even on here, it says Kane goal, 90+6.
Hold on, let me see.
Y'all some haters, man.
Oh, no, on goal.
We open our account.
I'm not joking.
We open our account. What y'all lie to us?
Golden Boot nominees there. Snake Eyes says Salah, Nunes, and Haaland. Darwin Nunes, who you were dissing. I remember you dissing him on the show. Salah owns the Golden Boot, says Jimmy Nizzle.
Does he?
Good luck taking it off him.
I've never seen someone who owns the Golden Boot that has shared it twice.
He's won it enough times, though, hasn't he?
Sharing it twice with Mane and then once with Sam.
Denzel Lawson says Salah.
Who else you seen share Golden Boots?
Aubameyang shared it with
Salah. There you go.
Yeah. Denzel Lawson says Salah, Jesus, Kane, then Haaland.
That's fair.
Huh?
That's fair. I can respect that. And the thing is, I think Jesus will get numbers.
By the way, you were dissing Darwin. We're going to come back to it. Don't forget, by the way, tomorrow we got the weekend roundup. 11 o'clock, we're live tomorrow. We got Abby Summers in the house, so I'm sure she'll be really, really happy. We've got AGT. I'll be there as well. And we've got Flex from the United View. Going to be interesting to hear what he had to say about Man United. But, yeah, on tomorrow's game, big game, Liverpool versus Crystal Palace. Liverpool will be looking to get a win registered after their draw last week at Fulham. Palace will be looking to bounce back after losing to Arsenal. But Darwin Núñez, why have you been doubting this guy so much? I mean, he's off the mark as well.
What do you mean, why have I been doubting him? All I said was he's a guy coming from the Portuguese league who's banged for one season, which is a factual statement. There's no doubt. There's skepticism, of course. And I'm right to be skeptical. How many players have come from the Portuguese league and banged off straight away like that? Not many. So for me, it's a case of there's... And especially when they've spent 100 mil, yeah. He scored straight away. He's been a handful in both those games. But the second against Fulham, the defender knocks it off his heel. The assist, he tried to control the damn ball, and it went to Salah. So listen, the guy will get his goals, and in a Liverpool team that has Trent and Robbo on either side, you should get your goals. I'm expecting him to get at least a minimum of 15. But if you look at the way he plays, that is not aesthetically pleasing. That is rough to watch. And here's what I'm telling you. Here's what I'm telling you. When those goals are not going in, when those jammy first touches are not turning into assists, I will ask you all how you feel about Darwin Núñez. Because for me, I don't rate him.
So he's got to score bangers now.
Every
goal's got to be some beautiful goal.
No, it don't. And listen, he has a lot of traits that I actually quite like. I think he's got that dog about him, which I think will get him very far. But he's just not my type of striker, and I definitely would not have spent close to 100 mil on him. 80 to 100 mil, whatever you lot are going to say in the comments. Nah, not after one season in the Portuguese league. That was all my issue was. If you, as an Arsenal fan, would have spent 80 million on Darwin, you would have lost your rag.
Ilias says Darwin Núñez will outscore Kane.
What's his name?
Ilias.
I got your Avi, and I got your name. I'm going to spin the block on you, my friend. We going to remember those words.
Says Xhaka was sending a message to Tielemans. Chelsea were robbed. Spurs so lucky, says Swaggins.
The game is the game, B.
Right. I mean, that's some controversial stuff that you're saying about Darwin Núñez there, because he scored in the Community Shield, right, to win the MIT, and then he scores again on his debut. I mean, at the moment he's living up to the hype.
I mean,
at the moment.
Is it really a fair time to judge after 2 games?
No, it's not. Obviously, you can't judge him.
So for me, it's look, good start. I hope he keeps it up. I don't want players to fail. I just give my opinions. Personally, after 1 season in Portuguese league, I'm not going to think this guy's going to come into the Premier League and light up. If he does, I'll be surprised. And I'll hold that. But personally, I look at the way he plays. I look at the types of chances he missed previously. And I'm like, this guy's got that air of where if you suck the confidence out of him, he goes 3-4 games without scoring. I want to see what he looks like.
Maskim says he's still rusty.
You can say he's rusty. I can't wait till he's fully sharp.
Billy Ferrari calls him the Uruguayan Lukaku. Well, listen, Lukaku ain't
Lukaku's got 100-plus Premier League goals, my friend. So be careful how you talk on his name. I know the flop at Chelsea, but he's done his thing.
And SS says Núñez was only 64 million, by the way. It goes up to 85 million if it goes well. It's 85 mil. Yeah. I know everyone's trying to justify all these add-ons.
Hey, listen, they keep calling Richarlison a 60 mil signing. Núñez is 100 million. I didn't say which currency. He's 100 million. Euros.
Martin McCann says Darwin Núñez could be the future top goal scorer. Don't underestimate him.
Bro, if you lot genuinely believe Darwin Núñez is going to be a top goal scorer in the Premier League, I worry for you lot. I genuinely worry for you lot. That is not happening.
Why not?
13 to 18 goals, that is a brilliant season for Darwin, and be happy with that. But he's not getting Golden Boot. If he gets
you really don't rate him, do you?
It's just because he's not getting Golden Boot. Listen, he can put his numbers up, but he is not getting Golden Boot. There is no chance. I will do a forfeit on this channel if Darwin Núñez gets the Golden Boot. You can pick the forfeit.
Clip it.
Ain't no hot chilies either. Get the hottest things, and I will chew that all up. That's how confident I am.
You sure?
Listen, Darwin hype.
George Núñez says Núñez is good, no bias. He says.
Listen, I've not heard a single Liverpool fan say anything bad about him, but I'm gonna monitor you lot.
Killer of the Bill says Haaland missed some sitters already.
Yeah.
Runs like a donkey. Only had 2 passes yesterday, and yet he's the best thing since sliced bread.
Listen, I've seen Haaland in the Champions League. I've seen Haaland for Dortmund. I've seen him consistently.
Seen Darwin Núñez in the Champions League, ripping apart Liverpool. Remember that game?
What? For
Benfica.
One set of fixtures. And listen,
no, he done well in the Champions League.
He done some
Benfica.
donkey touches in that game. Missed a couple of donkey chances as well.
He scored 2 goals in that game. And not only that, in the Champions League last season, he scored a lot of goals. He was a good goal scorer.
He did. I'm not disputing that.
So you've seen Haaland in there, you've seen Núñez in there.
If you lot are seriously putting Núñez on Haaland's level just because Haaland missed 1 sitter in a Community Shield, you're a bunch of fools. I'm sorry, you're a bunch of biased fools.
Suleiman agrees with you. Suleiman agrees with him. David Turner says Núñez is a 64 million and it goes up to 8 million if he gets the Golden Boot, Ballon d'Or, PFA. He's taking a mix. Snake Eye says, promise to come back and hold your L when Nunes bags those goals. Well, he's already said he'll
Top
hit
scorer.
Pepper.
That's the rule. Top scorer. I need to see number 1 Darwin.
Denzel says, honestly, Darwin Nunes has the potential, but he's not competition. But his competition is elite.
Yes, I agree with that. Darwin does have potential, but right now the competition is very elite. Very elite.
I don't know why you're dissing him. I mean, you've hardly even seen him.
I've not dissed him.
You're talking about giving
Have I
people
said
a
he's
chance.
shit? I haven't said he's shit once.
Yeah, but
I just said he's janky. And I'm sorry, if you watch him, he's not the cleanest technically. And that's fine. You don't have to be clean technically to score goals. You've seen Jota. You've seen Salah. You've seen what Klopp can do with jammy players. You've seen Lukaku even score goals, 100 goals in the Premier League. He's got potential, but he ain't going to be Golden Boot. If you lot are mad at that, you're mad yourself.
Time to Wake Up says Nunes has not played enough games in the Premier League to be compared to anyone else in the Premier League. Brother. Let's wait and see. Yeah. But saying Nunes is better than Kane is madness.
Madness. This is madness.
And Ilias says, stop having your agenda against Darwin Nunes, Fuad.
Ilias, be careful.
Darwin is quality, says Malver11. Just got loads of pressure.
Listen.
And Smoky Settings is saying, Robbie, I'm starting to worry about Fuad's football judgment. Not all players are pretty.
Listen, I'm just saying, he's not my type of player. I wouldn't have paid that money. And listen, I say that about my own players.
Says,
Richarlison.
Nunes, Golden Boot, you're having a laugh.
I can't believe people are boldly saying Golden Boot. You lot are crazy. You lot are judging my football.
All right. And Sakinsko says, Kane is decent but overrated. Benefited from home bias. He scores big. Listen, I think what he showed today is what he's been doing for years. He scores big goals.
Okay.
I'm not saying. I
thought I was going to hear some slander there. I was like, oh.
No, I don't like Tottenham, but you got to say, man, the guy's he's a big game player. I mean, today he was anonymous for the whole game. But I was saying to Sophie, weren't I?
Could turn up any moment.
And he turns up right at the end, even though it shouldn't have been a goal. Don Carlos says Diego Costa. Without the dark arts of football, he wasn't a pretty player, was he?
Diego Costa was a dog.
Yeah.
But guess what? Finisher. Pure finisher.
Yeah, so
you put Diego Costa on the last man. Hey. I'm not having this. We're not doing this. Darwin is on the same level as Haaland. Now we're going Diego Costa. Respect Costa, please. And I'm a Spurs fan, and I've got a lot of time for Diego Costa. That is one of the biggest dogs we've seen in Premier League history. What he did for that Chelsea team post-Drogba, ain't no one been able to replicate that. Morata. Lukaku.
Yeah.
Nobody.
ARTZ says 25 goals plus in the Premier League for Darwin Nunes this season. Hat-trick against Palace tomorrow will be easy. Right? And we're rounding up now, actually. We can start to come to the end, by the way. Killer of the Bill says, Don Robbie, I'd like to see a boxing match between Antonio Conte and Thomas Tuchel.
Who do you think would win? Who you got your money on?
Tuchel.
What? Height and length?
Height, man. He just keep him at bay. And
do you not think Conte gets something inside
nah,
that aggression? Like Mike Tyson swing.
No, I like see when Tuchel grabbed hold of his hand, yeah? You saw, you know what I mean? Strength. You know what I mean? Conte was saying like, Conte was so Adam, go, get off, man, get off my hand, get off. No, I'll go Tuchel, man.
No, I can't lie to you.
Tuchel would have the range. You keep him at distance, have the range.
Tuchel's flimsy. He reminds me
of
them.
After, you know what I mean? Conte would come rushing in and Tuchel would just boom, uppercut.
Nah. I feel like Tuchel's like, you know them coffee stirrers, them stick things? Flimsy. One whack to the rib. He's folded. Quick time.
Akashan says Conte's wig might fall off.
Hey. Slip my gaffer, please.
Tuchel was hiding behind the ref, says Don Carlo.
Innit?
Ronaldo says Tuchel would punch him up. Listen.
Shit.
Listen, that'd be a fight I'd love to see. But it was a great game today. Loved that at the end. But me personally, I know everyone's going to say disgraceful. You'll have all these papers tomorrow. They're so hypocritical. Disgrace at the bridge. This is this. They love it. They love it, and I love it, and I love when the managers show passion. I remember there was nearly one like with Arteta, and Klopp. The only thing is, it wound up all their fans, everything. They end up smashing us that game. But I love to see it. We want to see the passion.
100%.
Right? None of them hit each other. It's just a bit of handbags.
For me, I like that fight.
They got sent off. So what,
Give me
man?
that
You know what I mean?
fire.
All right. I know people can say, "Oh, it doesn't set a great example," and I know, but it's high stakes game, and I thought it was a great game, by the way. And there's been some great games over this week, and I've enjoyed all of them. Do not forget, tomorrow at 11 o'clock, we are back here with the Roundup Show. Abby Summers, Flex. I can't wait to speak to Flex. Right. Also, AGT and myself, we're going to be here. So make sure you check that out. Let's check out the poll quickly. We did a boxing match. Who would be the winner in a boxing match? Oh, very close. 50-50. 50% Tuchel, 50% Conte. Who would win? Right? So, never know. We might get to see that one day. YouTube fight.
Hey, listen, wicked and bad.
YouTube fight for charity, man. You know what I mean? Tuchel and Conte. I'd love to see that. But listen, Fuad, thank you very much.
As always, man.
Appreciate it, man. You got lucky today, but hey,
Take what we can.
But listen, thank you guys very much. Don't forget to join us again tomorrow morning. Don't forget to become a member here on DR Sports. Make sure you don't miss nothing, and also to subscribe to the channel. And we'll see you tomorrow. The Premier League season is back, and each and every week, don't forget to check out the best of enemies with me, Robbie, and that.
And that what, blood? You know them way
Tottenham
there,
fan.
blood? Nah, Mr. Genetically jacked, athletically stacked, half man, half amazing, modern day man, expressions oozing. And I can't wait to watch all the football content, the Champions League streams on DR Sports with Tottenham. You know them way there.
You ain't going to win the trophy, let's be real.
What do you mean? Listen, we're definitely winning the trophy, blood.
What?
Tottenham are winning a trophy this season. And why would I take football advice from you, blood? I'd rather take advice from hair products than
What
football
trophy
advice
are you
from
going to win?
Huh?
What trophy are you going to win?
We won one already, fam. The Walter Towel Cup, blood. You get me, fam? And now we want the FA Cup, we want the Carabao, we want the Premier League, fam. I want to see my team playing in the Charity Shield. I'm excited, fam. Are you excited?
I'm very excited. So don't forget to check out the best of enemies each and every week right here on DR Sports. Listen, you might not win a trophy, but you can have a ball.
This guy, at least I can see my balls, unlike certain man.